Now to focus, and the jury is expected to begin deliberations today in the UK into the alleged murder and torture of a 21-year-old French au pair, Sophie Lionnet. Now, prosecutors have argued that the host parents who stand accused of killing her treated their victim as less than human. Now, the case has sparked debate about the exploitation of au pairs. And when things go well, of course, they improve their language skills in exchange for looking after children for a set number of hours. But young people arriving in a new country, well, they can quickly find themselves isolated and vulnerable. And France is no different. Haxie, Meyers-Belkin and Augusta Lunardi have this report.
Hannah and Sasha are German au pairs in Paris. Both are now happy with their host families, receiving a room, board and pocket money in exchange for helping with childcare. But recently, things were very different. Neither woman wants to show their face, afraid of their former employers. Hannah says hers were emotionally abusive and made her work far more than the legal maximum of 30 hours a week. One day, she brought it up with the mother.
She got so angry. I was scared in that moment. So I asked her, okay, is this the 2-week notice that you have to give each other so like I can find something new and you can find something new? And she said, no, if we're gonna end this, we're gonna end this now.
Despite being a legal requirement, Hannah's family refused to sign an au pair contract, a situation she says left her vulnerable to exploitation.
Yeah, you're so dependent on them. You live in their house or like in their space. You live from the money they give you or from the food they give you. If something goes wrong with that, then all of a sudden you lost your job and your house at the same time.
But having a contract by no means ensures protection.
You're a domestic worker, you're living with them, and you can't say just no.
Sasha did sign a contract stipulating her working hours, but the written schedule the family gave her on arrival had little regard for its terms. When she objected, they told her to leave that same night.
I can't speak French. I know nobody in Paris, nobody. And they kicked me out of their home, and even my credit card was not working. I felt like, okay, this is really crazy.
Both women found their families on aupairworld.com. When Sasha provided evidence of her mistreatment to the site, they told her that the family had a different version of events and that there was nothing they could do. This despite their promise to take action if problems persist. Au Pair World told us that they do sometimes ban a family's profile if exploitation can be proved, but that's not how they chose to deal with Sasha's case.
When I was looking for a new family, when I got kicked out, I found your family. And they found me, they sent me an application, they said, hey, you look nice, do you want to be our au pair? So it's just a matter of time when the next girl's gonna go get into that situation.
Hannah and Sasha are by no means alone. Dozens of au pairs, men and women, contacted us to recount exploitation and bullying at the hands of their host families in France. While most found their families online, some went through agencies. But for the main group representing au pair agencies in France, it's less a question of families taking advantage than of au pairs not being up to the task.
I don't like talking about abuses. Sometimes au pairs just think they're working too much. Often they're wrong. Sometimes the young person who thinks they're working too much actually isn't. Maybe the reality is that they're just a bit lonely.
Agencies may be keen to downplay the problem, but for this employment lawyer, au pair exploitation is a serious and underreported problem. Since the European Agreement on au pair placement was signed in 1969, only a handful of people have tried to take their host families to court.
They're young, they don't necessarily know the French judicial system. It's a scary institution, and of course, it costs money. The authorities aren't going to take this seriously until au pairs themselves start getting organized.
Most au pairs may not be instructing lawyers, but some are finding ways to be heard. Juliana is an au pair from Brazil living in the east of France. Now happy in a new home, she says her previous employers saw her as nothing more than cheap labor.
So the mother made me take her to work and bring her home after work. She made me cook every day for the whole family. She made me do the laundry for the whole family, do the gardening, We don't have a salary, we have pocket money, so it's a short amount of money, and then they put all these tasks in one person.
After leaving the family, Juliana reported them to the Direct, the government body in charge of au pair contracts.
I told them everything that happened, and I did it because I didn't want any au pair to suffer the same thing I suffered in that family. So they said that the family is now banned from the program, so they will not send any au pair to that family anymore.
Juliana hopes that her victory can inspire others.
The au pairs that have been mistreated, they should take action and talk about these problems, because this is the best time of our lives. Au pair program is supposed to be a very good experience and not this nightmare.
Au pairs are a hidden workforce, often left to fend for themselves and unaware of their rights. Until they're better supported, au pairs in France will continue playing the host family lottery.